All right, everyone, we're back. Welcome to day 4, week 4 of this training block. This is the last week of this phase that we got going on. Today is our sub-max fly-ins today. We're gonna hopefully get to 4 to 5 reps of that today. We're gonna add some plyos on the back end of today and then just kind of add 1 or 2 more pieces of sprint drills before we get to these sub-max fly-ins and add a little bit of complexity to the ones that we've been working on. So our dribbles, our bounds, trying to take what we've been working on and build on them, hopefully as we've been progressing, getting a little bit better week to week on these and all that. So today might be a little bit of a shorter video. On the back end we'll have our weight room session, probably just going to have a little bit of like a training montage to that. So hopefully you guys enjoy today's training for this last week before we move into our next 4 weeks of training, where we're really going to hit some more high-end sprinting, heavier strength work, as then at the end of these 4 weeks we'll have our test to kind of see how over the course of this 8 weeks, did we improve on the KPIs that we're trying to improve with. Before we get into our ankle dribbles, we're going to hit our backwards rudiment hop series. Trying to be barefoot in these just to get a little bit better context to like feeling the ground, making sure I'm landing on those like kind of more heels midfoot for these. Two big things I'm thinking about is trying to keep my ankles stiff, toes up in more dorsiflect position, and then staying more like a piston, just kind of keeping that chest upright and just sinking in with the hips and knees while I'm keeping those ankles nice and stiff through each one of the repetitions. Finished up dynamic warm-up. You guys have seen some clips of that through the past 3 weeks, a little bit sped up just because it is a little bit longer. We're going to move to the wall for our in-place dribbles. Hopefully we're starting to get more secular with those movements of that leg. So we're going to hit some in-place dribbles, some moving dribbles, and then move into the rest of our sprint prep. For these dribbles, we want to think about staying tall, leaning against the wall for support, and just focusing on that one leg. Trying to think about scooping back, coming up, and around. We're going to try to pick up some speed on these. All right, feels a little bit better from last week. Trying to think more of like pushing through the ground, picking that knee up, putting the foot down. I've dove more into Altus's education on dribbling. It seems like ankle dribbles are some of the hardest ones to get. Kind of once you get to like calf and knee, they become a little bit easier, but also you have more time and space, right? You're going through a bigger range of motion. There's a little bit more time. Those ankles are very short, quick off the ground. But I think for me, of learning how to strike the ground and pull with my toe is going to help me as we start getting into more like high velocity sprinting work throughout this training phase. From the dribble wall drill, we're now going to move into a moving dribble. Hopefully, again, I can now keep that circular pattern that we're starting to, I think, understand for these movements and get it now more with some locomotion, which hopefully then will help transfer during our actual sprints. So dribbles are done. You guys hopefully in the comments can let me know whether the moving ones are actually looking better or not. I feel like the feet are getting better, but now trying to tie in like some arm action and actually like moving with it, like the thinking part of it is starting to really get to me of like, all right, keep our arms moving, keep our feet moving, but keep it in that circular pattern. It's tough, like I'm not gonna lie. So definitely something, hopefully looking back at the last couple vlogs of this day and seeing like, okay, are we progressing? Are we regressing? Are we staying the same? Is kind of one of the main reasons I like also videoing these and putting these up, not only try to help out other coaches and athletes, but also for myself. Like it's a little bit of like a virtual or live journal where I can kind of see, all right, where were we a year from now? Where are we going to be 2 years from now? So pretty cool, really enjoying it. So we are going to get our cleats on, because anytime we are sprinting, whether we are on the track here, trying to find better ways to give myself just a little bit more of an advantage with our runs. So we're gonna put some cleats on, give us a little bit extra traction. We're gonna get into our bounds. We're gonna go sled bounds, hands on hips bounds, and then trying to go to just regular bounds. We're gonna get some overhead med ball toss in, and then we will get into our submax flies. Just finished up bounds. If there's anything I feel that's gotten really better during this phase, it's my bounding, from going from the sleds to hands on hips to just going to regular bounding. Like it feels so much better. I'm sure someone's gonna let me know that I'm still doing A, B, and C wrong, but thinking about where I came from with bounding to where I am now, I'm so excited to kind of keep throwing these into the next 4 weeks of training and beyond, finding other ways to progress them, other ways to get technically better at them, but bounds are feeling so much better. Last thing we got for before we get into our submax flies, we're gonna do 1 set of 4 med ball overhead toss, just like just like doing these for triple extension, and really just trying to be violent and fast in a movement before we get into our sprints. First submax flies coming up. We're gonna see what our time is, kind of feel how the effort was, and then based off there, whether we feel like that was that good 80%, and also looking at times from past week. Are we in the ballpark we've been hitting? Are we too slow, or are we too fast? First submax fly. We got a 1-4, 1-4, 2-3. Honestly, it's right in the ballpark of where I've been. It's actually probably a little bit on the faster side. That just felt awful. Like, ground felt stiff. I felt so slow. Like, it didn't feel like a good rep. So we're gonna try to keep that same effort the whole way through. Maybe try to clean some stuff up on reps 2, 3, and 4. Rep 2, gonna try to keep everything consistent. Maybe just that first one felt weird. We're gonna see how this next one goes. For rep 2, we got a 1-4-1-9. It's down there in the bottom a little bit. Honestly, I don't know if I went too hard. I don't know if I can truly say that was like 80%. I don't think I was going all out trying to set a new fly max, but fastest one so far on these flies. So we're gonna try to keep it consistent for these next 2, trying to keep it more in that 1-4-1. See how it goes for these next couple reps. Rep 3 was a 1-3-5-7, which as of right now felt like my best rep. I really felt I got out quick. I kept good form throughout the run, but I want to say I probably creeped a little bit more into that 90% effort. It felt like it wasn't hard. Maybe it was because like I just got a better start off. I was more aggressive through my acceleration, even still trying to stay within like an 80% effort, but felt like the best one so far, and time shows it. So we'll see what this next one looks like, and this will be the last one before we head into the weight room for today. Last rep for our submax fly-ins. Going to try to stay consistent with that last one since it was our fastest one of these 4 weeks. Want to try to stay within that same ballpark for this next one. So last rep for the submax fly-ins, we had a 1-3-70. I'm actually really happy with the last two being consistent and being kind of in that top echelon of how fast I've ran so far in these submaxes. So excited to kind of see how these progress as we get into full out max effort flies, how this translates to our 20-yard sprints on our day 6 of training. But so far, I mean, dribble seemed to get a little better today. I'm happy with where my bounds are going. Honestly, these 4 weeks of training, I'm really, really happy with where they're at. Curious to kind of see where the strength levels are at, because we've kind of just been hitting percentage stuff. We won't really kind of get an idea of where that's at till after the end of our next 4 weeks of training. So we're gonna head into the weight room. I'm probably just gonna do a little training montage for you guys in there, a little music overlay, and just have fun watching us clang and bang some weights.